We welcome back into the studio Aaron Rodgers. How's the off season been?
It's been great. It's short, very short.
So just recently you crossed over a year anniversary with the Jets.
Yeah.
How would you describe it to somebody?
One of the best, hardest years of my life. And I'm super thankful for all the highs and lows. But I'm hoping for a little smoother ride this year.
What were the highs?
Wow, man, just everything was new. You know, new city, new state to live in, new facility, new teammates to meet, coaching staff, support staff, awesome men and women that work here at One Jets Drive, fan base. You know, all the things that we did last year in the summertime, the Broadway stuff, the restaurants, the late night pizza spots, all the little stuff that I just didn't get to do in Green Bay because it was a different place to live, different city. And then just running on the field with the American flag, which I had never done before on 9/11, and just how electric that was. Obviously, that was short-lived. Then come the lows. But there's been a lot of beauty that's come out of the heartbreak and the frustration, and I'm going to try and channel as much of that as I can into this season and these guys, and try and give our fans a lot to cheer about.
What was your expectation when you were walking into that unknown?
Walking into
the unknown of the New York Jets, new organization after being with Green Bay.
I was just trying to keep my mind and my heart open and just embrace the discomfort and the uncomfortability with everything being new. Change can be a real big positive, but there's some growing pains and there's some uncomfortable moments sometimes as you step into new spaces, new relationships, I'd never had an owner before. In 18 years in the league, we never had an owner, so that was a whole new relationship. And I've had a great one with both Woody and Christopher. It's been really fun to have that whole aspect to it. Getting to know Joe and his staff, that's been really fun. Getting to know a new head coach and Robert, and all the great men that work on the staff, and getting to know the great men and women that work at the facility here has been really fun. But it's just kind of like just trusting that there's going to be some really awesome things that show up, and just coming in heart open and trying to let the guys and the great people that work here get to know me.
I asked you about this in January, but what was the recovery process like? Where are you right now, and what got you through those difficult times?
Well, what first did was so many people reached out. I mean, so many people reached out, text, call, FaceTime, messages on Instagram and Twitter. That was really, really helpful because and deeply appreciated. There were some dark days for sure. There was some depression and deep heartbreak and sadness. Really because all the expectation that was built up and the excitement and just falling back in love with the game in a brand new way. And then to have it all taken away in just a few short plays was tough. And obviously we all grieved in our own way. The years of frustration from the fans, I felt that. And I cried and grieved with you. But a lot of amazing people reached out and prayed for me and sent me messages of support, and I needed that, especially early on. But there was some rough days as well in the midst of the rehab, as the stagnation of the rehab process kind of settled in, and the gains that I had in the first few weeks of getting in a shoe and getting off crutches and being able to walk up my steps and walk down my steps and put some weight on my leg. Got you excited. There was some rough days where there wasn't a lot of movement that was new. There wasn't a lot of wins to celebrate, and it was in those times that some really special people showed up for me over and over and took care of me and just checked on me. Like there were so many people that just kind of rang me up. Teammates here, coaches, friends that I've known forever, friends that I've known for a short amount of time, just really showed up in some beautiful ways. And when I was back with the guys, everything was better. I got to come back and talk to the guys, I think, in the third week and surprise them. And that was an emotional moment for me at the hotel. just be able to tell them how much I loved them and was pulling for them and hated not to be out there with them. But it was those times being back with the guys, being in the locker room, being on the sideline, that kind of got me through. And because there was a tough year, but so many beautiful things came out of this that I am thankful for. That only could have happened had things gone down the way they did. I think that's the right perspective of having life, because life is either happening, to us or for us. And if we always believe it's happening to us, there's some victim mindset, some woe is me that sets in, that doesn't lead to a lot of positivity. If we believe it's happening for us, and even in the darkest moments of frustration and disappointment, there's some beauty to be found in the void. And I'm thankful for the lessons I learned in the process, and hopefully it made me a better teammate, better person, better quarterback in the long run.
What do you enjoy most about the game? This is a game you've been playing your entire life. Because if you just watch you on the practice field out here in May, you're bouncing around like a young dude. You're not just spraying the ball all over the field. You're teaching guys as well. And your teammates, Morgan was just in here. Moses was just in here before, talking about just your approach, how an infectious way you go about attacking it.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've just learned a lot from my mistakes. And I've always been hyper competitive. I've always loved this game. I've always held myself to a super high standard of greatness. I've always wanted to be intentional about every practice mattering and trying to get better. But I think I've just learned a little bit more about myself. And as I give myself the self-love that I deserve, I'm able to show up better for my teammates and show up a little bit gentler, a little kinder, a little more patience, a little more gratitude for the life lessons along the way, and just trying to put myself more in their shoes and give them exactly the words and the love and the support, or the accountability that they might need in those moments. But I love to be intentional. I love to compete. I love to try and work on one thing every single day and focus on that and feel like I accomplished something and got better. But I really enjoy the relationships. That's what this is all about. There's a couple fun little get-togethers we do every single year. One of them is a Kentucky Derby. There's 12 of us that go. It's a lot of the same guys. It's guys that at one time we were all playing on the same team.
Right.
And now we've kind of scattered. Some guys are retired. Some guys are still playing on other teams. And it reminds you what this game is all about. It's about the friendships and the relationships you take with you. Obviously, we want to win a Super Bowl and for our fan base, for ourselves, for this incredible organization. But at the end, 20 years from now, it's going to be those friendships that we take with us. So we got to pour in our teammates every single day. And I love the subtle trash talk and the jabs and at practice and the back and forth and trying to get those competitive juices going. And that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to find time to teach these guys and to help and to pass on mostly the lessons from my book of mistakes, so they can not make the same mistakes that I did, or try not to. And not that I want to keep them from making mistakes, because in mistakes we figure life out. But I'd love to pass on all the knowledge that I've accumulated over the last 20 years, and maybe something sticks.
How much do you embrace the challenge ahead in 2024? Because one of the things that you were just talking about was, physically I feel good, but there is a mental hurdle that I have to overcome as well.
Well, the mental hurdle is strictly physical, because I've accumulated so much experience over the years through starting so many games and the practices and having a great recall, being able to recall certain plays from various moments of my career really helps. And the game slows down when you've played as many years as I have, even though I've obviously missed most of last year. But mentally, I'm there. Physically, I just got to get that confidence to let it loose, and I'm getting close to that. It's a process. Anytime you come back from injury, whether it's an extremity or internal or even concussion, like, there's certain benchmarks you need to hit in order to feel better. And each one has its own challenges. And these practices, the first two, have helped. I feel much better today than I did yesterday. and I'm sure I'll feel better next week and the following week, and training camp will be great, and at some point it'll just be, in a distant memory, and I'll feel like 100% myself. Right now I'm 90% myself and 10% not sure what's going on. There are various parts of my body.
You're 4-time NFL MVP. You're champion. You're out here in spring, OTAs. Are there times where you make a play or a pass where you're like, yeah, I got it. I know I got this. Like there was a throw specifically over the middle today where I think you were looking the safety off down the sideline and came back. And everybody on the practice field was like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, sometimes, most of the time, I'm reminding other people that I still got it, if they've forgotten. Every now and then, you surprise yourself and remind yourself that you still got it. We all need that. I don't care if you're in me, I'm 17th year starting, or a guy who's in his first or second year and trying to figure it out. You need those moments to just remind yourself, oh, yeah, I'm a pretty damn good player. And we all were the best, at high school level, or for me, junior college level, and we were all great college players. But we all need those moments in the NFL to remind us, oh, yeah, like I'm really good. And everybody out there is really good. But that's that little confidence boost and fun thing. And I love competing. So I love at practice. I love being able to look a guy off and throw it behind his head. I did one to Quincy, and just to watch his reaction, because he knows, I can't believe I let that guy get away with that again. And me, it's comedy. It's just it's the beauty in the competition. So I love that part. There's so many great teachable moments at practice that I enjoyed, looking forward to. But when you throw a ball, on the money, there's a part of you that wants to act like you've done it before, and then a part of you that just is like, yeah, I still got it.
You're going to be 41 in December.
Yeah.
You were asked about this downstairs in your news conference that, hey, you were attempting to do something that nobody else has ever done before. How much are you like, yeah, that's true, and that's the way I want it?
Well, I feel like that's kind of been my entire career, to some extent. I was very lightly recruited in high school. I went to junior college. There's not many junior college players that go on to not only play in the NFL, but become a Hall of Famer. So it's been, the road not taken has been kind of my path the entire way. And being an underdog and being, an afterthought at times has been fuel to my fire. Now, you can always find ways to motivate yourself. And a lot of times you just make shit up to give you a little extra fuel to the fire. But I enjoy being counted out. And I mean, like I said in down there, I'm not trying to just coast into, irrelevance. I'm trying to play at the highest level. And I was talking to a buddy yesterday. I said, if I didn't think we could win the Super Bowl and I could win MVP, I wouldn't be playing. And that's the order of goals. But if I didn't think I could play at the highest level and be the best player in the league and lead this team to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be playing. Because I don't want to hold on and be an afterthought, and be a shell. Now, I'm a different player today than I was when we won the Super Bowl a long time ago, when I was running around more and I was rushing for mid 300s every season.
Right.
And I extended a lot more plays. Now I'm beating you with my mind, and I can still throw the hell out of it, and I can still beat you at the line of scrimmage, and I can still get us in the right play, and I can still dominate, I think. And if I didn't think that, shoot, there's a lot of other things I could be doing. But that's the goal: win a championship, and then to be the best player.
What's your take on the roster? Because you think right now, hey, there's something to build off of. Yeah, we got talent in house, but also we're a year along the way in the system, even though you specifically played 4 snaps in the regular season.
Yeah, 4 great ones. Um, I believe in the roster for sure. And I love what Joe has done. I love who we brought in. Malachi was my favorite receiver in the draft. Now, he might not have been the best on paper in the draft, but I really felt like he was going to fit in with what we're trying to do, in his mindset and his ferocity. And so I enjoyed what we're bringing him in. Braylon Allen is now sitting in front of me in a meeting. He's half my age. He's legit. I'm going to turn 41 before he turns 21. The guy can't even drink legally, but he's a monster. I remember him in Wisconsin as a 17-year-old playing in games for the University of Wisconsin. I thought that was absolutely crazy. But then you watch videos him squatting the house, benching, 3-4 plates, whatever the hell he's doing. He's a monster. And you're putting him behind one of the most versatile backs in the league, and he proved it last year in Breece Hall, who can catch the ball in the backfield and make plays, and obviously runs his ass off. And now you're putting him behind an offensive line that's revamped, a Hall of Fame left tackle, a young up-and-coming left guard, a brilliant, center who played a few different positions for us last year, who's really going to, I think, control things. He's got the right disposition. AVT, who can play at a Pro Bowl or All-Pro level at right guard. And then a vet who was here, who left and came back, who's really added a lot to already in a short amount of time to our locker room. Like I said down there, one of the coolest things for me, and one of the things that you just makes you go, man, I love this game.
It's fine. It's
is watching Morgan, talking to Carter in the locker room, watching Olu come over and pick Tyron's brain. And just to see the information sharing that's going on, that's beautiful. And we didn't have that last year. It wasn't the veteran-laden line in the same way that it is now. And now all those guys who played a bunch of time, now are in backup roles. And we're very confident in those guys, the Max Mitchells, the Xavier Newmans, the Wes Schweitzers, who played a lot of snaps for us, Chris Glazer, who are going to, get opportunities, next man up, but it'll give us a depth back there that we really didn't maybe have last year. So excited about that. I like the personality and the disposition of this team. And I think that we got kind of punched in the mouth a few times last year, obviously with some injuries and me going down. And we've faced a lot of adversity. And I hope we learned some lessons that we can take with us. And if we did, we can start as hot as we want. And if not, then we might go through some adversity early in the season. And that'll be a great learning tool for us. But I love our guys. I really do. I like our chances. Really like our chances. And I like that we're starting out the season, with a cross-country road trip versus a great football team that played in the Super Bowl, and then flying to, Tennessee and playing a team with a new coach, and then short week against one of our rivals. That's, people say, oh, that's 3 games in 10 days or whatever, and I say, bring it on.
Can we end there? San Francisco, week 1, when you were told the schedule had been released, you guys are opening up Monday Night Football against the 49ers. A kid who grew up in Chico, California, attended Cal Berkeley,
and Butte College as well.
Yes, and then
shout out Butte.
And then we go back to the draft. As far as the connections, does a lot of things come full circle for you in that moment?
Life comes full circle, I think, for us in so many moments. But I figured out, reading between the lines, when George Kittle posted something on his Instagram that said, like, see you soon, with a picture of him and me with long hair in Green Bay and him on the field during, I don't know, there was a moment probably when there may have been some sort of review or something where both offenses were on the field. And I was like, oh, shoot, we're going to play the Niners first game. And I knew, based on opponent, home and away, that the San Fran game was on the road. I was like, damn, they're putting us there opening game. And I figured if you're putting those two marquee teams, it had to be either Sunday night or Monday night. So excited about it. That's a long trip. It's a great stadium. I played at a couple different stadiums in the Bay Area over the years, and went to a couple different baseball stadiums there. But that was my team growing up. a lot was made a million years ago about them having the first pick. I love Alex. Alex had a beautiful career in the league, and things happen the way they happen. There's a lot of interesting what ifs. That is a game I don't like to play a whole lot because it takes you down some silly rabbit holes. But yeah, it's a great way to start the season for us, just to see how we match up against a great football team. And it'll be great on great because for the most part, we pray for no injuries during training camp, but for the most part, you get an opportunity in week 1 to go against that full squad. And no one's ever going to be 100% throughout the season from that point on. So it'll be fun to see how our 100% in week 1 stacks up against San Fran's 100%.
Aaron Rodgers back in prime time again in 2024. Thank you very much.